Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom.
Every day, we generate waste.
Can I call you Rose?
From the smallest plastic wrapper to the largest industrial byproducts, waste is an inevitable part of our daily lives. But what happens to all that waste? And how does it affect our planet? Today, we explore the world of recycling and waste management and its crucial role in protecting the environment. Globally, we produce over 2 billion tons of waste each year. That's more than 2 trillion kilograms of trash. Recycling is an essential part of protecting our environment, but the journey to a sustainable future is not without its challenges. Today, we hear from people across different communities about their experiences with recycling, their struggles, and their commitment to making a difference. We asked people, what are the biggest challenges you face when it comes to recycling? Their answers reflect a range of experiences and obstacles.
I think the biggest challenges that I face when it comes to recycling is actually sorting my recycling items. As we know, there are paper, plastic and other materials, but then to exactly sort them and to recycle them the proper way is where I think I face my challenges.
In my opinion, when we talk about recycling, the most important thing we need to know is about the facility that we have in Malaysia. For example, here we are at IOI City Mall. There are lack of facilities to recycle trash.
Usually for me, it's harder for me to recycle because there's no nearby facilities, and usually I don't know which ones to recycle because sometimes there's biodegradable plastic bags, right? And sometimes there aren't, so I don't really know which one to put in.
For me, I think it's the inconvenience of the recycling process. The process is very hard.
Not knowing what to recycle. Sometimes the things that I want to throw away cannot be recycled.
Whether it's lack of facilities, unclear guidelines, inconvenience, or insufficient incentives, these challenges highlight the complexities of recycling in our communities. Plastic waste, in particular, poses a significant threat. Marine life is choking on it, and microplastics have infiltrated the food chain, impacting wildlife and human health alike. Recycling is a process where waste materials are converted into new products. It's a crucial part of modern waste management aimed at reducing the need for raw materials, conserving energy, and lowering greenhouse gas emissions. From always to never, the frequency of recycling varies greatly, depending on personal commitment and available resources.
Maybe I recycle every day because as a uni student, we use a lot of paper, so I usually already have a separate plastic bin to recycle my stuff.
Sometimes I recycle items like paper and plastic.
I would say rarely. In my family, we don't do recycle that much. We just separate the recycled material from non-recycled material.
For me, I do it sometimes. I will separate the material from paper, plastic, but most of the time my auntie will do the recycle thing.
Oh, always.
You always recycle? Okay.
I think for me twice a year because we have our neighborhood program. Twice a year we conduct a recycle program lah.
Sometimes in a day, 2 times a day.
Paper, glass, metal, and certain plastics are commonly recycled materials. However, not all plastics are created equal. Some are easier to recycle than others, depending on their composition and the recycling facilities available. When it comes to recycling, not all materials are created equal. We asked, what materials do you usually recycle? Here's what people had to say.
Paper and plastics.
Paper and plastic also.
I usually use paper and plastic.
Most of things that I recycle is mostly a paper because I'm studying.
Or it's usually paper because I consume a lot of paper. Other than that, I also use a lot of reusable plastic water bottles.
Like plastic bottles, plastic bags and all that. I think after that would come, as I said, unwanted worksheets or books, as in a lot of paper.
Despite the benefits, recycling faces many challenges. One of the biggest issues is the lack of proper infrastructure and public awareness. Many communities still lack access to efficient recycling programs. Understanding what can and cannot be recycled is crucial. We asked people how knowledgeable they are about recycling guidelines, and their answers varied widely.
Not very.
Not used to it lah.
I'm not that knowledgeable on recycling.
I think I'm not knowledgeable on this recycling.
I'm actually quite knowledgeable because I've used to study about this during my SPM days, so I tend to keep up to date to those things.
I would say I'm pretty knowledgeable because I've been exposed to the culture of recycling since I was around 4 to 5 years old.
Even with knowledge, uncertainty can still creep in. We asked, how often do you find yourself unsure whether an item is recyclable or not? Here's what we learned.
I found it rarely because sometimes.
I think I know what to recycle and what to not recycle.
Because there are things that we're not really sure of, especially with the plastic bags, right? So that's the main one. And sometimes like there are items that have like food containers, right? We don't know if it's like fully recyclable, so that's sometimes a bit hard for me.
I would say about 40-30% because sometimes example like a used product might contain some recyclable materials and some parts may not be recyclable, but as you know, whenever we recycle, we want to make sure it's about 90% and above is what we reach.
This is a hard question. I think I'm not sure whether that particular thing are recyclable or not because there are no label at all.
Whether it's always, often, or rarely, uncertainty about recycling is common. Education and clear guidelines are key to overcoming this hurdle. Community involvement and education are crucial. People need to understand what can and cannot be recycled to reduce contamination and improve recycling rates. Recycling is a shared responsibility, requiring commitment, education, and action from everyone. While challenges remain, each step towards better recycling practices is a step towards a more sustainable future. Making a documentary is a journey filled with unexpected challenges and rewarding experiences. Today, we take you behind the scenes of our latest project, a documentary on recycling and public awareness. Let's meet the team and see what it takes to bring this story to life. Every great documentary or demand market survey starts with a plan. For us, it began with crafting the right questions to understand people's attitudes towards recycling. The process wasn't easy, and WeThink members faced several challenges along the way.
As the CEO, I would say it's communicating with the members and coming to an agreement as to when to complete a task. Since our members, most of our members have big responsibilities outside of WeThink.
The team spent hours debating the wording and relevance of each question. Their goal was to create a survey that was both comprehensive and accessible. With the questions finalized, the next step was to prepare the surveys for the public. But what exactly did the crew hope to achieve from this exercise?
Okay, so from this assignment, we as a whole, we hope to spread the awareness about recycle. And actually, we also aim to educate users about the recycling guidelines. And we also want to further improve our apps because based off of this feedbacks and comments from the strangers around the mall, we hope to gain these insights and we want to further improve our app while also spreading the awareness about recycling.
The crew's mission was clear: to shed light on public perception and knowledge about recycling, and hopefully inspire change through their findings. With surveys in hand, the crew headed to a local mall to gather responses and conduct interviews. But how did they feel about interviewing random strangers? Let's find out.
So, when approaching the strangers, I felt kind of shy and kind of scared of what their response would be. But since I'm the cameraman, I don't really have to think about anything. I just have to put my face behind the camera. So, I don't really feel anything.
After a long day of filming and interviewing, the crew reflect on their experiences and the most memorable moments of the project.
My favorite part from this assignment is to approaching the random stranger and asking them the question because I'm very shy and I don't know how to approach them. So when I approach, it's such a relief for me. And the second best part is the food. I like the food so much. The food is so delicious.
The members' favorite moments often came from the unexpected, the unscripted interactions that brought the project to life. Creating a documentary is more than just telling a story. It's about learning, growing, and connecting with others. As the members wrap up for the day, they carry with them the stories they've heard and the hope that their work will make a difference.